In tonight's breaking story, the U.S. Senate just stunned Donald Trump with a Friday night revolt. That's right, things keep getting more and more challenging for Donald Trump. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, Donald Trump is literally losing support left and right, and a lot of it is because of his economic policies.
Her ear to the ground in terms of what MAGA is talking about. There is upset around this president spending so much time and money on Argentina, for instance.
I was just going to say, the Argentina one is the classic one, right? Because it is a literal bailout for Argentina, 20 billion, but sounds like it might be 40 billion, actually, as well. So that one seems to fit.
While the government is shut down.
While the government is shut down here, and while folks are genuinely concerned about bailing themselves out, right? It's also, from a foreign policy perspective, quite instructive as to who gets help and who doesn't from this president, right? Milei, friend of Trump, gets this bailout offer. Prior to the election, if the election turns out the way Trump wants, in Milei's favor, by the way, that was what Trump said. He said the money will come if the election goes the right way. Brazil doesn't do what President Trump wants, prosecutes his friend Jair Bolsonaro for attempting to overturn an election. They get 50% tariffs.
And at the heart of all this, not only is Marjorie Taylor Greene upset, soybean farmers in the U.S. are so furious about
100%.
the Argentina bailout because the soybean market has been closed because of the Trump trade war with China. So it sounds sort of complicated, but very much woven together. So there's discontent in Trump country about the soybean trade war and that bailout.
Even Fox News had some less than ideal news for Donald Trump.
Fair of Texas, it is underway. It is in Dallas, and Max Gordon is there for us. You're talking to fair goers. I want to know how they rate the Trump economy. I'm not interested in what the cow thinks.
Well, Stu, that's good that you're not interested in what the cow has to say, because there's no comment from Buttercup Fletcher here, the grand champion steer at the State Fair of Texas. The humans that we talked to today, though, they, for the most part, have agreed with President Trump's economic policies, though there are some lingering concerns about tariffs as well as food prices. Take a listen to what folks had to say here. What are your biggest challenges right now?
Groceries. Eggs aren't getting any cheaper. You know, I have a 21-year-old son, my daughter's pregnant, and milk is $4, $5 a gallon, and it's just, eating is the hardest part. It's almost becoming cheaper to eat out.
The eggs went from $2 to $9. I'm like, okay, when did we get here?
That's the only downside right now, is nobody to pay more to get more groceries.
I mean, they're going up.
But now things just got so much worse. That's right, the U.S. Senate just stunned Donald Trump with a Friday night revolt. Take a look at tonight's top story. President Trump was just betrayed by the Senate as one of the most senior Republicans in Washington broke with MAGA and sided with the courts against Trump's growing power. In a stunning Friday revolt, 92-year-old Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, the Republican chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, publicly defied Trump and declared that the federal courts are an essential check on the White House. His comments sent shockwaves through Capitol Hill, marking one of the most dramatic Republican rebukes of Trump since the shutdown began more than 2 weeks ago. Grassley didn't just make a casual remark. He threw his full support behind a bipartisan bill from Senator James Lankford that would protect the courts from being crippled during government shutdowns, a move that directly undermines Trump's strategy of using the shutdown as leverage. Grassley's defection comes as the shutdown reaches its 16th day, and the judiciary warns it will run out of funds within hours. Without emergency action, only essential staff will remain to keep the courts functioning. Grassley's message is clear. Even if Trump wants to rule through chaos, the rule of law must survive. And it's not just symbolic, it's rebellion. By siding with the judiciary, Grassley shattered the facade of Republican unity that Trump has relied on since reclaiming the White House. The move is already being described by insiders as a Friday Senate revolt, a crack in Trump's power base that could widen fast if other Republicans follow suit. For Trump, the message could not be more humiliating. The man who once commanded total loyalty from his party just watched a Senate legend defect in broad daylight, defending the same judges Trump has spent months attacking. And if Grassley's courage spreads, it could mark the beginning of the end of Trump's iron grip on the Republican Party. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.